As within all the other videos on this site, this is raw, unscripted footage, so you get it from the heart rather than anyone else. And I want to talk to you about the Millionaires program in this particular video. The whole wealth activation system was originally, the original idea about it was to create something that would get people driving forward, move them from where they are, drop away the limitations and give them new resources that could take them to success. And that's usually beyond their comfort zone. So we structured it so they could have an ABC, so they could start with communication, which was like communication with themselves, understanding what their internal voice was saying and what they were saying to themselves, as well as how they communicate with other people. This is something we're never trained in at school. We might be taught French, German and whatever, but we're not taught how to structure language to get somewhere. Also to understand what someone else is thinking and to listen to what they're saying. So we use our ears and mouth in that sort of ratio 2-to-1. Then the next level was about motivation, and that was motivating yourself and motivating other people. A lot of us don't want to get out of bed in the morning, so we really need to get up, and especially if you're in business, it's like, oh God, I've got another day of this. Especially if it's hard work. But if you're enjoying what you want to do, you jump out of bed and you go for it. And it's kind of a circle. The more you enjoy your day, the more you want to get up and do it. So that's what motivation is about, and it's learning how to motivate yourself, other people, and work with other people to get just more out of you and more out of the environment. And then the next level is leadership. So you start to learn how to lead, strategize, and it's not about just sort of like talking. You might imagine, oh, I've got to stand up in front of people and talk to people. It's not about that. It's about starting to think about planning things in the future and starting to visualize them and trying to know where you can go and see that they are a certainty rather than they're just maybe a hazy dream. So that's the structure of the standard wealth activation system. But what we wanted to do was also provide something that gave someone an almighty great push and also a big pull to get towards success. And the biggest pull we could think of was money. So we made that a target of $1 million and gave it a sort of a geometrical progression. It meant that if you adhered to the blueprint we give you, the same as everybody else, we're talking about perfection, then everyone would make $1 million. But perfection's very difficult to achieve. So what we're looking for is progress for you. So the Millionaires program is really for people who, it could be specifically for entrepreneurs or people who just want to go into business, but they're worried, they're thinking, well, can I really make it in business? So we wanted to give them the program, but also apply it so they could actually experience what it would be like to work their way up through a business right to the top and know what it feels like and earn money the better that they actually ran it. So that's what happens within it. It's structured on the 3 levels of a business. So, at the bottom, you've got the people, marketing and selling. And then in the middle, you've got those people who are managing and motivating. And then you've got the person at the top who is leading. So it exactly replicates what you're learning on the wealth activation system, but puts it in a live fire environment. So you actually run a business. You work with other people, and we give you those people to work with, and you work through the program. So you do a bit of selling to start, you move on to the motivation to manage, and then you move on to the leadership role. And each one takes it over 7 weeks. It's a unique system. No one's ever done this before, but we've managed to structure it in such a way that there's no risk for you. All you've got to do is apply yourself, motivate yourself, and go for a big target. If you've got your own product and you want to be able to sell that to the people that we introduced you because you think that's the way to make the money, then by all means do so, because it's up to you to convince those people. Because if you're going to try and fund a business on Kickstarter, you really want to be able to know that you can convince people that your business is cool. And these people will give you valid feedback. It will give you immeasurably, life-saving feedback, because if you make a mistake at the beginning, then you're not really going anywhere. And as you can appreciate, 9 out of 10 businesses go bust in the first 5 years, and that's maybe it just wasn't thought out well enough. It's not about the business plan. It's about the strategy and the structure and the understanding of profitability. And this gives you that live fire environment to be able to do that. And if your team come back and say, look, you've got a problem with this, or we're worried about that, you can't blind yourself to it. You've got to look at it objectively and take the criticism and change it. It's hard to do, but it's kind of market research, and that's what this gives you. But it also gives you that side beneath that, where you're constantly learning and applying what you need to know in business about entrepreneurial thinking, creative thinking, teamwork, greenhousing, all these ideas that will come to you. And if you apply it to the knowledge base, which is the online coaching platform at the lowest level, then you can ask as many questions as you like and help yourself forward. So it's all about success. So if it was me doing it, the Millionaires option is the one to go for, simply because it's the same price, but it takes a lot more commitment. The main reason I'm saying that is because the people we give you to work with, which is become part of a team of 7, you are responsible for their success as much as yours. So it's not just, oh, I fancy giving it a go, I'll see how I get on. It's these people want success, and they want you to help them, and they want you to want their success as much as they want yours. So it's not about financial commitment. It's about the commitment to go get it, to actually make the money, to actually make the success and do the best you can. It's a bit like The Apprentice. If you go out there and you do a task and you come back to Alan Sugar and he goes, you're fired. In this, you don't get fired. It's just your teammates will say, look, we need to pull together. We need to move forward with this, and we need to come up with new ideas and strategies and leverage what we're doing. So, and you actually get to keep the money. That's the nicest part of it, because 95% of the initial registrations, that's the first 7 weeks, 95% of that goes back to the people on the Millionaires program. It's done in a structured basis, exactly like a company would divide it up. So you get it for the 21 weeks. At the end of that, if you've done the job to its perfection, as I said, we're looking for progress, not perfection, then you'd be running a corporation, multimillionaire. There you go. Not too bad. If you just do it to learn and do the best you can, and even if you, let's say 99% unsuccessful most of the time because you've been learning, well, you're going to do very well, and it's going to be very much worth the money that you put into it. So thanks very much for listening. Hope to see you on the program.